Welcome to Prime Space, a Prime Coaching Academy podcast with your host, Elias Scultori. So hello, coaches. And today I also have another guest here. We have Mary Burns here with us. Hello, Mary.
Good morning, Elias. It's so good to be with you.
Excellent. Mary, thank you so much for being here. Mary has been a faithful participant of our Prime Hour and our Prime events and everything that we offer at Prime Coaching Academy. And I had to have a conversation with her, knowing your story and what you have done with coaching. So thank you for being here. For those who do not know Mary, Mary has an ACC. She's a certified coach with the International Coaching Federation. Mary coaches professionals at all levels to have more rewarding and satisfying careers. With a focus on career and professional development for the last 15 years, Mary has coached many making career shifts, those in transition and those ascending to higher leadership roles. She coaches both private clients through her business, AdviseU, and is also part of the career team at the Kellogg School of Management, coaching executive MBAs and other working professionals. Also, for the last 7 years, Mary has served as a pro bono coach for the Marketing Academy, a leading organization supporting the development of marketing professionals on the CMO path. In addition to her coaching training, Mary received her MBA in marketing from Loyola University in Chicago. After 25 years in Chicago, Mary moved to Colorado and loves the outdoors. And she was telling me here before we hit the recording button here, that she starts her day opening the blinds to the blue skies and the sunshine of Colorado and meditating and being grateful. Oh, Mary, this is beautiful.
Thank you, Elias. And it is absolutely true every single day, blue skies and sunshine and grateful for being in such a beautiful part of the country.
Yeah. When I talk to you, Mary, and all the exchanges that we've had through Prime Coaching and all of the conversations that we have, I always have a sense in you of this groundedness and you being in the right place in life. And I know that we didn't plan this question here as we were planning for the podcast, but what is your response when I reflect that back to you?
Elias, I'm glad that you picked up on that. And I do feel like I'm in a really good stage of life where I am doing such great work. I get again, another really grateful thing to do the work that we get to do to support other people. I've had a really good path. My first career in marketing and advertising, I enjoyed very much, but also knew I wanted to make a big change, and coaching was it. And I can tell you more about that in a moment. But being in a place where, again, having my own good wellness, good health and well-being, being in a beautiful place that I really enjoy being in, and in support of others, I have gotten to a really good stage that I know what works for me. I focus my time on those things where I can make the most impact. I have my enjoyment and my hobbies and interests and everything, but this is a really good time of life.
I love hearing that because it really sounds like you're taking your own medicine. You are working with other individuals, supporting them to find a career that really is in alignment with who they are, putting themselves into this place of balance and anchor. And here you explaining that you went through that path yourself in finding this moment in this place for you. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
What So you go through this path and you are supporting your clients. What brought you to coaching?
Yeah, that's an great question, and I think an interesting reflection. I mentioned that I was a marketer, and I spent about 17 years working for some global, communications firms and enjoying that and serving my clients and traveling around the country. But I was really fascinated by the millennials when they started to come into our workforce because they were noticeably going about their careers, their approach to their work with a different mindset, with a different approach, questioning a lot. I was fascinated by it. I was also perplexed by it a lot. And that was the early 2000s. So that's 20 years ago. Prior to that, while I was living and working with one of my clients in Arizona for about 4 years, I came across coaching. I came across the growth of the ICF and a lot of things that were developing through the 90s. And as I read about it, I was fascinated and I knew that would be part of my life at some point. I followed the industry. I followed what any article I could get my hands on. I learned about it. I found my own coach in 2003 in a very happy accident, meeting Mary at a funeral of all things. But she was able to help me make my transition from my advertising and marketing career into the work that I do today, and of course, get trained in everything.
I love that I love that you started being curious about the industry and you hired your own coach. It happened to me as well. And I would say that this is probably not uncommon in the coaching industry. Before we jump into getting coach training, we get our own coach. And funny story here that later on, the coach that I hired, who was not an ICF certified coach, came back to me, and now I mentor him to get in his MCC. So
Oh,
it's
isn't
such
it?
a beautiful story. But this is I diverge here. Let's go on Mary here. So Mary, career coaching. So
Mm-hmm.
you landed on career coaching because of your path and your story and how career developed for you. I am curious because in career coaching, clients come to you expecting some technical and best practices advice. How do I streamline my resume? What are best practices on interviewing? Or how do I edit my LinkedIn profile to be more visible? All of these little technical things that usually career clients looking for a career transition are looking for. How do you balance that with the coaching mindset and this idea that we are not necessarily there to give them advice?
Yeah. And so that is another keen observation. There are all of those tactical pieces that when a person, and we see the marketplace today, we see and hear about the layoffs, and someone is after their next chapter, their next step. So those tactical things do happen. And that is where I feel more consultant. I do feel like I am consulting and providing those best practices, whether it is, developing an effective LinkedIn profile so they get noticed or cleaning up the resume. Sure, those things are important. But way before that, Elias, is the reflection work, is the important, competencies that we use in bringing a coach mindset to hearing a person talk about their current situation, where they are. For many people, dealing with lots of professional situations and as a career coach, and I don't speak for all, but we all help and serve those who are in challenging work situations as well. They're not even looking for their next role, but they are coming to the coaching conversation with a dilemma, a management issue, situational topics that they're trying to navigate at work. But for that person who is after something new and wanting to get to their next step, starting the process with reflection around where they are, what they want next, establishing their goals, helping them gain the insights and the awareness around the establishment of goals so they know where to focus. They know how to move forward. They know the steps to take. That's the beginning process, way before we're talking about somebody's resume. So there is a lot of my training and the important core competencies of just even getting to the point of talking with a client around their motivations. That is all core competencies. That is all presence. That is watching and observing and being with a client, however they present in the coaching conversation.
I know that I say this a lot in my podcasts, but I have to say this is beautiful. And I appreciate what you're saying here because I get excited about these things. What you described to me here is like really bringing career coaching into a depth of exploration that goes beyond the tactical. And what a lesson for us in not only in career coaching, but to me is in every kind of coaching. Yes, there are the tactical points and the points that will support that particular coach, that particular client in that particular situation, whatever the situation is, but really supporting the person. Before we go there, before we go into the LinkedIn profile, before we go into the resume, uh, who are you? What do you want? What is really resonating with you? What is working right now? Or what is propelling you for a change? This is so important. And to me, the core point of coaching, we want to get to the source of what that is motivating that person to be in that particular moment.
Well, and think about it this way too. Think about our work lives, our professional journeys in life stages. Someone comes out of undergraduate education, they just want to get started working and earn some money and get an apartment and get away from mom and dad. Someone that's at 40 in their prime earning years has got different motivations and different priorities. I'm coaching someone last week who is evaluating a potential, a potential move, has a really, really good position right now, but evaluating a potential move. The impact on family life is very profound. So again, in career coaching and coaching the work life of a person, it is really being mindful of all of these other influencers and these factors, and just even asking the client, have you talked to your significant other about the impact? What does the next 6 months look like for you if you make this decision? So
Wow.
now we're going deep. The other point I'll make about that is I think any of our clients globally who is investing in advanced education, anyone who is wanting to learn more and get another degree and get that graduate degree, they are investing a lot in themselves. So again, the intentionality around where they want to take their work life and their career journey, it gets to be even more important. You're investing all this time, effort, energy, the dollars, the decisions around career are magnified. They're even bigger. And there should be more reflection around that.
Yeah, it's a moment. It's a decision that is going to have a ripple effect for many years and a lot of investment that is financial investment, energy investment, time investment that is going to happen for a long term. So even more crucial to make a decision that is really grounded in who we are and who we want to be, so that the person doesn't spend so much time and money and energy and then later on sees, oh, I didn't get where I wanted to get, or I got to a place that
Sure.
doesn't have connection to who I am.
Yeah. Yeah. That connection piece. Again, we spend a lot of time in coaching, talking about personal values and what they mean connected to, again, work life versus personal life. What does that mean? And what do you need to feel fulfilled and a sense of satisfaction, in your work. And more clients come to the table, come to the coaching conversation with talking about particular industries or organizations, firms that where there's value alignment. The company that I'm interested, is got some values that are very consistent with my own. So we start there. And again, that is a lot of reflection work.
That's to me, the beauty of coaching. And that's when we say that coaching is not solution based. Coaching is not just about a goal. Coaching is not just about what am I going to do next. But coaching is really, yes, we will address all of these things, but first we are going to connect to values. We are going to connect to who you really are. We are going to connect to the intrinsic motivators of that individual, so that whatever action the client decides to make, or whatever career transition or whatever career step that the client, in your case, the client wants to make, it's grounded in a deeper level of self-awareness, and then it will lead them to an outcome that is much more in alignment with who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that.
That's
So
the aim.
how do you balance with that client between the moment that is coaching mindset, the coaching exploration, and the moment when it's required a more tangible advice or suggestion for the client in a more practical manner?
I'll go back to the container of the coaching conversation, and that is, what is the client bringing? In most cases, that hour, that 45-minute coaching conversation is a singular topic, and we're working through something. If the client comes and says, I've got some real tactical needs today, we're focused on those things. So there is some meaningful separation. I'll be coaching someone later today who is, again, in the midst of navigating change within his organization, change that does feel uncomfortable to some degree. So there is emotion, there is feeling unsettled. What do I do with this now that this is here? So that is all coach approach. That is all core competencies in having that conversation. Now, by the end of the week, that same person might come back and say, I'm thinking about this and I'm exploring this role, and I want to talk about that and evaluate that. And we could have that conversation.
That's beautiful. So even in your consultancy, in the consultancy moments, you're still utilizing the coach approach. And I always like to make that distinction between what is the coach approach and what is coaching, right? So you start the conversation utilizing the coach approach, even bringing the coaching mindset and the coaching framework. But depending on the need of the client in the moment, then it's very clear for you if you're going to continue with the coaching exploration with utilizing the coaching process, or if you're going to be more in a consultative mode. I appreciate that distinction, and I think that it's so important for us to have that clarity. Well, Mary, unfortunately, we have just a short period of time here in our episodes here, and I would open the mic here for you. Here, what would be one or two points that you would like our listeners to take away with them when they are working with their clients in general, or their clients in career development?
Yeah, I think that, for anyone in this area of professional and career focus, there is a lot that's going on in the marketplace right now. And there's a lot of challenges for people. We're seeing more rounds of layoffs. We're seeing things that are going on at a macro level in Washington. And some of our coaches might bump into those clients eventually. I think we have to start with, again, meeting people as they come to us, because there is a lot of emotion. There is a lot of change. It is unsettling. And starting there and recognizing and being really present and hearing it all from our clients, and then getting into the work, getting into, okay, you're here now. Where do we head next? And what do we want to work on today? After they might, complete some of that, more personal work. It could be around, again, difficult challenge and everything. I think anyone coaching around careers is recognizing, again, in the marketplace today, things are taking longer. AI is entering into the job search process, sometimes to the betterment and sometimes to the disadvantage. And we can help our clients by recognizing that whatever they're using AI for in their job search process, they need to verify. They need to make sure that whatever materials they're using, it is their authentic voice. It doesn't sound like something that came from a computer generated bot. So we can help them with that narrative and verify that and everything.
Oh, so many wonderful points there to consider, Mary. I super appreciate your time here and sharing with us your experience. And hopefully you're going to come back to another episode later on and share more of your experience with us here. Thank you so much. Well, Mary, if someone wants to get in touch with you, what would be the best way to connect with you?
You can connect with me, of course, through LinkedIn. And you can find me in LinkedIn, and you'll find my Denver, Colorado location. My contact information is right in there, so that is available to everyone. And you can also reach me at mary@adviseu.net.
Excellent. We will make sure that we have those links in the description of the podcast. So everyone, please, if you have any thoughts or any ideas or questions related to career coaching, please contact Mary, because she's the career coaching guru here. I'm putting that label on you right now, Mary. Well, so Mary, thank you so much.
Thank you, Elias. That was very kind of you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. We will be back with other episodes. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with others. And I will see you next time. Take care.